Hello, how are we? Welcome back to the channel, Up the Reds TV with me, Andy. So, as I always say at the beginning of the shows, please subscribe, please share, and please like. We're still looking to get 200 subscribers before the season finishes, and come on, hit that subscribe button for me, will you? Okay, this one is the pre-match warm-up for Manchester United Liverpool. But before I get into that, I just want to say to one of the subscribers, I know he'll be watching this, Roy, Emma, I'm really made up for you, Roy, and getting that good news today about your illness and getting the all clear. That's really boss, and I'm really pleased for you, mate, and obviously to your loyal wife Emma, and I hope you have a boss few days getting that good news today in that phone call. Okay, right, let's get to it, shall we? Who would have thought, after years, probably the best years of our recent history, that Manchester United would be above us in the league? Well, it's a fact that they are, and yeah, Jurgen Klopp had a massive role to play in knocking them off their perch and keeping them there. But this season, it's been a bit different for United. They have been playing one game a week. Obviously, they've been in the domestic cup competitions, and it's probably been a good season for them. If we have to be honest with ourselves, they're 22 points better off than where they were this time last year. So, but they've not had multiple games to play, have they? So, yeah, they probably deserve to be where they are. We've got an opportunity now. They're in third place. They played 34 games, won 17, drawn 10, lost 7. 60, what are they on? They've scored 60 goals, conceded 46. They've got a plus 14, so on 61 points. So we played 34. We've won 17, we've drawn 10, and our nemesis, we've drawn 7, we've lost 10, haven't we? And that's been our crappy season. We've scored 57 goals, conceded 44. We're on a plus 13 in the goals, and as I say, we're on 58 points. We're only 3 points behind them. So we can get a result on Sunday. That'll be absolutely that'll be great, because we need to beat them. We need to finish as high as we can. And for the money men in FSG, they hold the purse strings, don't they? They will be happy with that, getting that extra dough in through into the coffers, as they say. But less about FSG. We will do another video on them in the near future. So, look, Aston Villa, they're on the same points as us. They've got a weaker goal difference than ourselves. They're on plus 5, and obviously I've just said that we're on plus 15. They play Spurs at home, 7 o'clock kickoff on a Sunday. And obviously they were involved in the Europa League semi-final against Forest, and they on Thursday yesterday, and they narrowly lost that game 1-0. I did watch the game. They should have really pummeled, put Forest to bed. They had the better chances, but they just snatched at them. It might be a different story next week when they play the second leg of that fixture. So yeah, we can get away from Villa, and that's what we need to do, and try and cement that 4th place, and that'll be good. You can't rule out Brighton either, because they're on they're in 6th. They got 50 points, but they're unbeaten in 5. They've won 4 and drawn 1. And if they're playing Newcastle away on Saturday, 3:00 kickoff. Newcastle, have they lost straight 5 in a row? If Newcastle can get something from that game, that'll put Brighton out the equation in getting a Champions League place, and it would be just a shootout between whoever finishes second to 5th in what positions they play. Man City, in second place, they're way ahead. They're not going to be caught by ourselves or anything. So it's really 3rd to 5th, what positions we play, and it all matters to the how much money that is made in the Premier League standings. Okay, let's look at United last 4 then, shall we? Away to Bournemouth, they drew 2-2. Home to Leeds, they lost 2-1. Really, Leeds should have had at least 4 or 5 in the first half. They should really have seen them off. Away to piss poor Chelsea, they won 1-0. And again, they were at home to Brentford and they won 2-1. I watched that game, and if I'm honest with you, again, Brentford, they should have took their chances. That could have been either a draw or a win for those guys. So 2 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss, 7 goals scored, 4 conceded. Liverpool, we've won our last 3, haven't we? And lost 1, but we're obviously unbeaten with wins against Fulham, Everton and Crystal Palace. And so we just have to wait and see. So look, we owe Manchester United one after what they did back in October at our place. Went away with a 2-1 win. I think Amarin was in charge there, but we were dogs that day. We were absolutely crap on that day, and they beat us. So we cannot let them do a double over us. But then again, that will just sum up our season if we let them do that, because I think it's back in 2016. So that's 10 years ago. So let's make it 11 years by getting some in this competition in the Premier League. So let's get on to Slot's press conference, shall we? It's not my favourite topic to bring up on here, but I have to talk about it. On Salah, not available against United, but he will be back before the end of the season. We know what Salah's like in his own fitness regime that he does. So he's looking forward to him coming back. On Alisson has not trained with the goalkeeping coaches, but he's also very close. I'm not so sure if that's a bit of a keeping it under his chest, or whatever the saying is, mind games. But if it's true that he's not trained, it'll be Freddie, our new hero at the moment, in goals. On the Reds and Manchester United game, he said, we are aware it's a big game and we have nothing to play for but confirming our Champions League position, and we'd like to finish as high as possible. So from being in 4 competitions at the beginning of the season, it has now come down to finishing high as possible and to get into the Champions League. That's what our head coach has alluded to. On United, they've become more consistent with them playing only once a week. I said that earlier on, didn't I? That's all they were doing. On his 3 wins in a row, having more players available and not playing 3 times a week, and on those 3 victories, we have been more lucky than ever before. So, but he said, then he says, but I would want us to be playing in the Champions League semi-final. He contradicts himself when he speaks. You know, on the one hand, he says that it's been good with these 3 victories because we're not playing 3 games a week. We didn't have this problem before. Never had this problem in the previous 9 years. So it's all of a sudden it's become a problem, but it's not a big enough problem because we should be in the Champions League semi-final. You have to make your mind up, lad. So he was asked about if he's been judged harshly about this season overall, and he said, that's not for me to judge, it's for others to judge, you as being the journos and everybody else. He says, the only people I judge though are my players. So so he's aware, you know. One journo asked him about strengthening his backroom staff. He said, we're always looking to strengthen our staff. So make of that what you want to. I didn't feel he made that with any conviction that he was hanging around for that to happen, but probably he had to answer that question in one way or another, and that's how he answered it. So, and then he was asked about Curtis Jones and how well he's played in the last few games. He said, yes, he's done really well. And he said he shows great personality wherever he's asked to play. And he says, but he just needs to look at his risk-taking, and laughed. You know, he needs to manage his risk-taking. Can he not just give a player some credit without having to tell the whole world something else? You know, sometimes players, they like a bit of credit being given to them in press conferences because they all listen to them. You know, they all listen to the press conferences, and just to give a bit of credit, I mean, this just reminded me, and it was for a right back in Calvin Ramsey, knocking young Calvin Ramsey when he said he had better options at right back, and yet he was the only right back available at the club at the time. So his man management skills are shite for me, honestly are. So yeah, and that was it really from his press conference. Nothing really untowards, apart from a journo joking with him that he was from Hungary, and how he gets into the press conferences I'll never know, but he was asking about how his favourite Hungarian players were, you know. So, you know, we've got 3, haven't we? It's Pesky and Kirkes, and obviously Slobosly. So he said, yeah, they were all fine. Okay, my team. Going to be interesting. If Alisson's back, obviously he's in goals, but if he's not, it's Freddie Woodman. On another day, I would have picked Joe Gomez at right back for this game and gone a bit more solid at the back with him playing right back and being an old head and being more stronger in the back line. But I'm not. I'm going to go Curtis Jones, Canate and Van Dijk. Centre backs, I've brought Kirkes back in because of Mbomo, just for pace wise. I think, yeah, Andy Robertson's done really well last few 2 games. and he probably deserves a start. But I'm just thinking of the pace of how United play. They play just like we do in a 4-2-3-1. I've picked their team as well, and I'll give you that shortly. Midfield, Slobosly, McAllister. I think Mac has done all right in the last 2 games. We might need to use his head a bit more than Ryan Gravenberg's. And then I'd put Frimpong on the right, ahead of Jones, bit of pace. Wirtz and Gakpo. He's going to pick Gakpo. He's not going to start Rio Hungamoa. And obviously Isak up front. So this team, there's no excuses of not playing together the last few games and getting minutes together as a bunch of players. It should be strong enough to do some damage at Old Trafford. Obviously, we'll have Petchke as the goalkeeper on the bench. Gomez, Robbo, Gravenberch, Chiesu's not getting a sniff, but will be one of those players that will be leaving at the end of the season or after the season's finished. Naomi Ungamoa might have another one on the bench as well from the academy. United's team, Lamens. I'm impressed with that goalkeeper. I have to say. He's a very good shot stopper. Dallo, who's a bit cumbersome at right back, we really need to get onto him. He's a dirty player as well. He don't mind giving dirty free kicks away. Maguire, and I think he'll be the young lad, is he called Heaven? He'll play because there's injuries and suspensions in there. Luke Shaw's got a bit of a knock, so if he doesn't play, is it Mazwari or somebody? He might come in there. Casemiro and Maino will be there, and Diallo, Fernandez, Umboa, and Sesko will be the likelihood of United's team. It's a settled team, so the United fans will be up for it. We'll be up for it. It's a cup final really for both teams. Who gets the bragging rights? United, if they do the double over us, will be really happy. United, if they draw against us, will be really happy. And we will have to take being the bridesmaid on our chin this season, because if we don't win, and it'll just be another failure of the head coach not organising his team and getting a result at Old Trafford. So that's the end of this one. Okay, thanks very much for watching. There will be a post-match done after the game. It might be a bit different as I'm watching the game elsewhere, and I might have somebody on the video just to go over the game with me as well. So looking forward to that. So again, please subscribe to the channel. Let's get to 200 subscribers. I know it's not a lot for this channel, but it's enough for me, and it'll be great if we can do that and build on it for next season. So please subscribe, please share, and please like. Have a boss weekend. Up the Reds.